Hello friends, welcome to my channel Grammarian Bhai, and today we are going to learn about conditional sentences. So, conditional sentences have two parts. First part is known as if clause, and the second part is known as main clause. So here we have one example. If you work hard, you will succeed. So here, if you work hard, if condition is there, if is a condition. So this sentence or this part of sentence is known as if clause. Whereas the second part, you will succeed, is main clause. Now let's see the different types of conditional sentences. So mainly there are three types of conditional sentences: type 1, type 2, type 3, and even we have type 0 conditional. So in type 1, the conditional will be open condition. In type 2, mostly about unreal or imagination type of conditional sentence will be there, and in type 3, hypothetical condition, and in type 0, mostly about generally true or scientific fact condition will be. So first we will discuss about type 1. In type 1, it is a possible condition in which the result will likely to take place or likely to happen. So the action, if you do this action, then something will happen. So this action will lead you to happen the other actions. So that is the conditional sentence. So type 1 pattern you need to remember is that if, then present tense. So present tense, it may be simple present tense, or it may be present continuous tense, or present perfect tense, or present perfect continuous tense. If clause will be in present tense, and the main clause will be subject, then will or can or shall or may, then V1 and the object. So main clause is here. So let's see the main clause. Main clause is here. You will pass the exams. So you will pass the exam. And what is the condition? If you study hard, then only something will happen. The action will, or the result or possibilities are there. This action or result will take place. So here the pattern is subject plus will and can or may or shall. Other things here it will not come. So remember here, if, then present tense, and this side will or may, can, shall, but then mostly we use will. So this sentence, if clause, is depending upon this one. So if you study hard, you will pass the exams. If you do not study hard, then you will not pass the exam. So this is type 1, and you have to remember the pattern: if, then present tense, and this side will we use. So this type condition is mostly possible condition, it happens or likely to happen. Next example you see, if I get this scholarship, this is if clause, and main clause is I will go abroad. So if this thing happen, then this will take place. So one action depending upon the other action. So the verb shows that one action leads to the other action. First type 1 is if, then present tense, and followed by the will. Conditional sentence, possibilities are there that it may happen. In type 2, the condition is unreal or imagination situation, and this one is hypothetical and it is not possible to happen. For type 2, the pattern you need to remember is that if plus past simple. So remember, past simple, then this side would or might or could plus V1, first form of the verb. So here, if the conditional sentence begins with if, and this is if clause, that is in past simple tense. You learned to speak English is past simple tense, and the main clauses will follow, that is you would get job. Next sentence you have, if you worked hard, you would pass the exams. Next one, if I got scholarship, I would go abroad. So, if I got scholarship, but then it is a unreal situation, you may not get the scholarship, then this action will not take place. You need to remember that is if, then past simple tense, and here would. So next we will see type 3. So in type 3, the condition or the conditional will be hypothetical condition, which is not at all possible, and that's why you regret about it, because it is not at all possible to happen. So for type 3, the pattern will be if plus past perfect tense, and then would have plus V3 or could have plus V3, third form of the verb. Could have plus V3, third form of the verb. So let's see one example. If I had got a scholarship, I would have gone to abroad. So next sentence we have, that is she would have come. She would have come if you had invited her. Since you did not invite her, she did not come. So this is type 3 conditional sentence. So remember here, pattern is if, then past perfect tense, and this side would have plus V3. So this is a hypothetical conditional sentence which is not at all possible. And we will see type 0. In type 0, whatever facts or scientific truths are there, that is generally it is true. So one action leads to the other action, and here result will be sure. Result will be 100% sure. So it will be generally true. So let's see the pattern. Pattern will be if, then present simple tense. If clause will be in present simple tense, and even the main clauses also will be in present simple tense. So this is the pattern you have to remember. In 0 type, both side, main clauses as well as the if clauses also in present simple tense. Let's see one example. If you heat water above 100 degree, it boils. So it boils also is in present simple tense, the main clause, and even if clause also is in present simple tense. Next example we have, if you speak the truth, everyone appreciates you. Everyone likes you if you speak the truth. So both main clauses or principal clauses also is in present simple tense, and even if clauses also is in present simple tense. Next example, if you overeat. So if you eat so much, then you become overweight or you become fat. So this is a fact that if you eat so much, then you will become fat. And it is a generally accepted truth. It happens. It happens. So this type is known as type 0, or such kind of sentences that follows if plus present simple tense, and even result also happens in present simple tense. So such kind of sentences or the pattern is known as type 0. So now let's summarize the entire conditional sentence into one page. So we have seen there are 3 conditional sentences or 3 types of conditional sentences: type 0, type 1, type 2 and type 3. So remember, in type 0, if the clauses is in present simple tense, then the verb in the main clause will be in present simple tense only. And one example I have given here: if you heat ice, it turns to water. In type 1, if condition is there, then subject, then present tense, and the verb in the main clause will be in future simple tense. Future simple tense, that is subject, will plus V1, first form of the verb, and the object. And example is here: if you come to me. So if you come to me is in present tense. I will teach you English is in future simple tense. So if clauses is in present tense, then the verb in the main clause will be in future simple tense. Then in type 2, if clauses will be in simple past tense. So if plus subject plus past simple, then the main clauses will be subject plus would plus V1 plus object. So one example is here: if you came to me. If you came to me is in past simple tense, and it is if clause. So the main clause or the principal clause will be I would teach you English. So if you came to me, I would teach you English. Then in type 3, if, then subject, then past perfect tense, and the main clauses will be subject plus would have plus V3 and the object. So just see the example: if you had come to me. If you had come to me is in past perfect tense. Then the main clauses will be I would have taught you English. So if you had come to me, I would have taught you English. So this is the pattern. So you have to remember this pattern and accordingly use the verb in the main clauses. And if clauses, you have to begin with the word if, and if it type 0, then it has to be followed the given tenses, and accordingly you frame the structure of your sentences. And if you do other things, let us say type 1 is there and you are mixing with type 2, the other side of the verb, or the verb in the main clauses you are mixing, then the particular structure of the sentence will be wrong. So you have to remember this pattern, and you have to also know which type of conditional sentence are these. Hope the conditional sentence is clear to you, and if you like the video, please subscribe and like my channel.